All right, so let's just talk about the prediction that I made yesterday. We were sitting right about there, and it looked to me like we were ready for a great big drop, and actually in a better place than we were the day before. But you can see that it did not drop during the day very much. This is just the 1 hour chart, but it did make a little bit of a drop, but it didn't get anywhere close to where I thought it was going to drop to. So, the biggest thing it did was overnight trading dropped down to the 30-minute 180 SMA. So I would say that the general uptrend and positive vibes in our economy right now are keeping it pretty high, even though it's kind of a volatile situation with a lot of different things going on. But I would say, yeah, it's pretty strong. So anyway, we're looking at it this morning. I didn't actually take the time to write down, like I usually do, with the little blocks of my data that I grab in the moment. So I'll just try to remember what I was thinking. But anyway, we can see that it has been trickling down a little bit, and we're kind of sitting at a support level. And let's see, this is the 15-minute chart. We've had a big downturn here. The MACD is low and tipping down. And when we start zooming in a little bit, we can see that it's leveling off and perhaps looking for an upturn, but I don't expect it to get too high. I think it's probably going to get up to this area and then maybe make another drop. So let's see. And when I went into the 1 hour chart, let me go back one more time. Okay, so these candles right there. All right. So, kind of changed my mind, it looks like, or maybe I hadn't thought that through exactly at the time, because I got into a short for my first trade. I'm on the ES here, and I have a really tight stop, expecting a $200 trade down to that 30-minute SMA. And I did raise up my stop, so it's more like a 1-to-1 trade here. And then I lowered it back down again. And got stopped out, which is not a huge surprise because that was a really, really tight stop. And what's interesting is going through it again, I'm kind of seeing it's like, yeah, it's going up. Why would I go short? I don't understand that. I think it's really helpful to talk out loud, maybe, when I'm trading, and also when I'm grabbing those first few shots, I remember feeling really rushed. It's like, oh man, this is like a really good setup coming. I want to get in quickly, so I'm going to grab these shots really quick so I can place my trade because I think I know what it's doing. And that is the drop that I was looking for, and it didn't really amount to much. It started to go up, and when I first started this video, that's kind of what I was seeing. So I think in hindsight, even though I'm looking at the same information, somehow being under pressure like that right off, and when it's a live screen and everything's moving, there's just enough pressure that you can't think clearly, which is a very interesting thing to note. All right, so the first trade I lost, and then I decided, yeah, it's going up. And so I got this trade in, really tight stop. Got into a long here. A really tight stop. It's just over $50. So when it started to drop again, I kind of freaked out and lowered my limit order to just a couple ticks above. So the thing in the back of my mind, I remember at this point, I'm keeping track of the orders that I make. And if I make more loss trades than profit trades, I need to stop in order to take, to follow my rules. So the way around that is to just make a bunch of break-even trades to build up the green trades, and then you can, then you have a nice buffer, and you can be allowed to not get, kicked out when you make a losing trade. So I'm already trying to find loopholes around my own rules, which is really bad. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on here. It's like, okay, fine, I'm not sure it's going to go up. I just want to get a really tiny trade. I just want to win something. So I did. I got a I got a positive trade here. It wasn't much. And I don't think I've made hardly anything here. I think I started off at 481, so now I've actually lost $40. So it's not a huge loss, but I've got one profit, one loss now, or one loss, one profit. Okay, so, let me go back again. All right, so it started to make this drop. It looks like this is a resistance level. So I got into a short and I waited for a green candle to get in. Not expecting great things, but it is a 1 to 2 trade, which is good. Stop is kind of tight. Honestly, it should be right above these candles instead of right there, but whatever. All right, this is the prediction that the news is making. They think it's going to dip. It's poised to open lower, which I can kind of see. I can kind of agree with that. So, and here we go again. It kind of scared me. I raised up my stop above these candles a little bit, or maybe it was exactly in the same spot. I can't quite remember. But I raised up my limit order because I kind of realized that even if I made one more bad trade, I will have to stop. So I don't want that to happen. All right, so I raised that up so I can get out at break even, basically. And that's exactly what happened. And as it turned out, I could have held on. It did end up dropping, and it went down. And I said it was tenuous. I think what's happening is I'm freaking out because I have had 2 lost days, and I've lost a little bit more than $500 to begin with on my eval, and I really, really, really don't want to cancel. I don't want to blow it. I'm trying to do better, and I'm just trying to play it very conservative. And this is how I'm doing it, is I'm just making these tiny little trades. So I kind of decided, I wonder if I should just go to the MES, because I am almost certain, I am pretty certain that it's going to be dropping. However, it might zip up to this point before it does. Excuse me. So I can't really get into one contract of the ES and still do that at the buffer that I have. And I kind of decided last time I was trading and my account just kept getting lower and lower and lower, I should have switched over to the MES a lot sooner and just kind of started to very slowly build up my account from that point. Instead of continuing to trade the ES and getting freaked out and losing trades, it's just really hard to recover at that point. So I think that was a good call this morning. I went over to the ES, so we're talking really tiny amounts, but I can place my orders. Actually, it's not really tiny amounts. It's big distances because of the small amount. So this is where I think it's going to go, and the stop is in a great place, and I'm happy with that amount. So if I can get in at this point anyway, it has to go up a little bit further. All right, the other thing is too, I actually held the trade in over the opening bell because I had that large buffer to work with. So as soon as the opening bell hit, I got into a trade because I thought, man, it's going to drop, and it's going to drop quickly. And if it does go up, I'll just grab one more contract. That was my plan. All right, so here we go. I got in, and sure enough, it did go up. So I have placed another order. Now, my stops are way up here, and I've got 2 of them. So we're talking about almost $200 loss, even with the MES here, if I do get stopped out. I think the likelihood of it hitting that is not very much. So I'm going to get into a short here. All right. And let's see, it crossed over my alert that I had set up there on the ES because that's where I thought it was going to go. Remember I said this morning, I think it's going to go up first and then drop. And so it actually went to that point. So that was kind of interesting. Okay. When it started to drop again, I got into another short, I believe. What happened there? Can't remember what I did. I think I got into 2 shorts at that point. When it started to drop, I got into another short. So now my stops, that's what's going on. Okay, so I'm in, it kind of averaged them out. I'm in here now into two shorts, and it is dropped. And I've lowered my stop. So now I'm sitting pretty. All right, so I've locked in, let's see, what would this be? 10, 20, almost $25 profit. At least it's something. And I'm sitting at a $56 profit. I'm expecting it to drop down to here. All right, and I went out to the 5-minute chart. It's looking good, except the MACD is really low, but it is tipped the right direction, so that's good. This is a support level where I put my alert, and it got really close to that and started to form a green candle. So I lowered that stop pretty tight right through there because I don't want to leave this on the table. It's $78 profit right at this point, and that's a lot to me right now. So anyway, so I lowered the stop and got stopped out. So I didn't wait it out for that great big trade, that great big move like I had originally thought. But I have made some money now. I've actually made like $50. So at least I've made money today so far. And so that's a good thing. That's very encouraging. I made a good call is more the thing, and not so much that I made money, but I made a good call and I got a big move here. Okay, it went up, stagnated, started to drop, got into another short here, and my stop is here, and my limit is way down there where it was in the first place. All right, and it started to make another big drop. So as soon as I reached $50, and remember, this is just one contract. This is like almost twice the move as it was last time, because I had 2 contracts in for that amount last time. Anyway, so this is on the 15-minute chart. I think it's probably going to get down to this point right through here. But I locked in some profits pretty tightly there so that I don't lose out, and it kept dropping. So I kept lowering my stop to lock in those profits. And look at this, I'm already up to 92. It's awesome. So I made really good money on that one. Very happy with that. Now I'm up to, let's see, start off at 481. Now I'm at 607. So $120. Very happy with that. All right, the next move, it started to recover, and it's almost 10 o'clock. So that's just about normal. You can kind of see the first move of the day reverses usually about this period of time and starts heading up. So I thought, well, this is a good move. I think I could do this. Get into a long, really tight stop. Let's see, we're talking 5, 10, 15, not even $20 stop there, and possibly going to make, I don't know, $50, something like that. So that's a good move. 1-minute chart MACD looks really good. It's heading up. All right, I've left my stop where it is because I figured $20 is not much. I can definitely risk that, and I really think it's going to go up. But then when it kind of started to stagnate and drop back down again, I raised it up to break even and got stopped out. So I thought, well, it's fighting that rise pretty hard. We'll have to just see. I'm not sure. But then it zipped up, and I thought, okay, all right, we've got the momentum. I still think it's going to get up to this point, maybe even this point. So when it dropped down just a little bit, I got in bigger now. I've got 3 contracts, but I'm expecting to get 120 with 67 to risk here. Got into 3 contracts on the MES. All right, started to drop a little, got a little worried and feeling a bit sick. I'm thinking, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have done this because I didn't want to risk that much. I really didn't. That's like, I'm struggling to make anything at all this morning, and so this is like almost all my profits, or a great big bunch of them anyway. So I thought, well, if it does go up at all, I think I'm just going to get out at break even. So it started to head up and came really close. I raised my, I lowered my limit to here, and then it actually went up and I got out at I think I had lowered that limit one more time. All right, so I got out pretty much break even there, and I haven't really messed up my balance, so that was good. All right, so then I was going to be done for the day. I had made 7 trades, and these 2 I actually considered to be one trade because I placed them I got out at the same time. So I placed them almost simultaneously, got out almost the same time. So anyway, it looks pretty good. I've only had one loss, and it's smaller than my biggest gain, so that's good. Even though that was on the ES and this is on the MES, that's pretty good. All right, and I've made 126, which is at least a gain. It's not a lot, but all right, fine. I've had more winning trades than losing trades, obviously. So I think, this is looking pretty good. Then I went out to the chart and realized, oh, wow, I think it's dropping. And it's slow enough to trade the ES again. And I thought, okay, I've got a small buffer. I've got 126 that I've made in profits. That is what I can risk. So, and I was pretty certain it was going to be dropping. I mean, look at this. You've got a loss of momentum building here. You've got the MES in a perfect position. This is ideal. It has hit a resistance level. It looks like it's dropping, and we have a nice green candle. I think this is a great place to get in. It's just all lining up. It's looking really good. So I got into a short here, and if it drops down to there, that will be huge. That's like $600 back on the ES. All right, so I got in. All right, and it went up, and then it went down, and then it went up, and then it went down, and like, oh my word, this is nerve-wracking. And then it started to go up, and I was pretty sure that this was not going to go well, and it didn't. And so I lost 162 on that trade, which isn't a lot for the ES, but that was more than I had made for the day. So that was not a good thing at all. This is very discouraging. So I decided, well, all right, this is the ES. Things can move pretty quickly here. And I think that it's going to drop still. I really do. So when it went up and then it had this this drop, I'm not sure why my order is not showing here. This is kind of weird. But I think I got into a short here. No? Okay, I got into a long. That's what happened. I don't know why that didn't show up. But anyway, I got into a long, and because it seemed like it was going to continue up, and I was expecting very small bits here. I just wanted to get back the loss of that last trade, even though I think it might head up a little bit further. I think it's probably at least going to get to that point. It went up, and I'm already in a profit of $87 now, and I've locked in this. I'm not going to lose any money on that. So I've raised my stop to lock in any profit. It went up, hit it, and so now I'm at a profit of $116.60 for the day, which it shows on here that I lost as much as I gained there, but we've got contracts to consider. Commissions, excuse me. I've got commissions to consider for prices. So anyway, I made a couple more trades, and they just kind of evened out altogether. So this is my stats for the day, and I would consider that I did well with trading today. I was conservative. I think it was wise to trade the MES, and I actually made some money today, and I think I did all right, all things considered. So we'll see what tomorrow brings.